This is just a short video about the man that you see here on this picture. Personally, to me, he looks like a rat, like a mouse or like a rat. This is a Slovenian communist. Janez, Janša is his name. He probably is happy right now because I called him a communist, rat, mouse. And he, I'm certain, believes that he earned himself an advantage against me. Not really an advantage, but something he can maybe negotiate, trade. But before this, I think it's going to be about 3-minute long video. It's going to end. He will be crying together with Robert Golob, with the Milan Kučan, with the police, with the Slovenian police, with the Slovenian parliament, with the Slovenian parliaments, because this news goes to year 2018. He will be on the knees and in the tears before this video is going to end. And this is the proof that this is communist rat, communist mouse. I'm talking about 2018. This is the man who decided would not prosecute Milan Kučan, Robert Golob, BORUT, PAHOR, police from Novo Mesto police station. This is not even a police. I already discussed these murderers from Novo Mesto police station. And there was a bunch of these thugs located inside of the home for elderly people, inside of the hospitals. They have this pro-Yugoslav communist garbage everywhere. So this is the guy who was his opposition during Slovenian, in a parenthesis, independence process from so-called Yugoslavia. And this is the man who continued to pose on a political podium as opponent of the communism in Slovenia. Basically, it was like this in 2018. I am going to be talking to you about these things as I demonstrate you a little bit more about his modern history. This is the mainly communist that was the most deserved for continuation of the Serbian crime against me in Slovenia. Russian-Serbian crime against me in Slovenia. This guy here. If there was such a thing like doubt about my addressing him previously as a communist, there will be no doubt now, because with him, one more time, I am renouncing entire Slovenia. This isn't a video only about him. I do this in a very, 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 very different way. He became Slovenian premier again. And the way this rat became a Slovenian premier, and that's the end of the video, the next 2 minutes. He became a Slovenian premier after in 2018. I'm going to turn the camera on here at this point in time, by the way. You're on Auser Times. My name is Bastian Auser, Boštjan Ausec. Here you can see me. He became a premier in Slovenia in 2018. I don't know what he was doing in 2018. It doesn't really matter. During MK Ultra, what they were doing is they had what was presented as a present government and a future, what would be a future government. So during MK Ultra, they enforced two things. This is a very, very important document, this video. They enforced two things in my head. One thing was terror, red terror, through what was known as the government at the time when I was drugged up. They engaged in violence, terrorism, psychiatry, all the good stuff in this world through forced unemployment. The second thing that was always ran parallel to it. And this is the stuff that did not only apply to Slovenian government. It applied to American government, everybody, Germans, absolutely everybody had the same thing. This was the nature of meeting on the side, basically behind the curtain, with the global politicians with whom they were coordinating their external affairs. But this, we're talking about the Slovenia in this video. Before the 2018, Slovenia performed bestiality on me. The chances of my survival did not exist, absolutely did not exist. It's difficult, extremely difficult, because you're butchered, you're butchered, you are ripped apart through sleep deprivation, poisoning, terror, beatings, torture. And what they do is they portray everything like it's going to be a future, like it's going to be a future, like it's going to be a future. But they claimed me already since 2012 that I'm a dead walking man, that I'm a dead man. In 2016 and 2017, when I escaped to the Belarus, when I came back from the Belarus, I denounced Lukashenko. I denounced Putin again. And it was this rat that I demonstrated you as one of the Slovenian communists, rat terror, who got into my face and who entirely depended on a goodwill of Milan, Kučan, BORUT, PAHOR, and communists here in Slovenia. He did not exist beyond whatever the red terror in Slovenia, Serbs, Slovenian Serbs were deciding would be done with me. He did not exist. He did not exist in respect to whatever would be done with me, and he did not exist as far as politics. He did not exist as far as the politics. The one who was deciding absolutely about everything, including what would be a possibility for one to become a future Slovenian Prime Minister, personally was a Milan Kučan. I participated, I watched Janez Janša. It was done in front of me. It wasn't done one time. It was done on multiple occasions. Janez Janša resigned from the politics. The one who told me he is finished as far as the politics was none other than a Slovenian prominent communist, BORUT PAHOR, who was a president in Slovenia. 2015, Janez Janša was de facto certain that he did manage to kill me, that it is over with me. That's why I said by the end of this video, Janez Janša will be crying. Slovenia will be crying by the end of this video. Now we are talking about the criminal evidence. Now we are talking about the witnessing pertaining to Janez Janša. That entire Slovenian parliament, if I grab you by the throat and bring you to the police station and I interrogate you from the BORUT, PAHOR, Fajon, Kučan, Golob and the rest of it in Slovenian parliament, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, everything that you see today, there is witnesses of this stuff. 100% I can prove it. This is the day when the Janez Janša died. This is a day when Slovenian communism, Slovenian lie, died in front of the world. I was assured until 2020, not 2020, sorry, until 2018, that I am 100% dead, not only by the local police station, by home for elderly were tortured, and hospitals, etc. No. You're talking about now different things. You're talking about now Slovenian parliament. You're talking about a PAHOR. You're talking about it's over for you, scum. It's over for you. It's over for you. You did not know that this is gonna come. This is gonna come like this, that you're gonna have to be like this. This scum here, hope you took a photo, garbage. Every fucking one of them participated in this. Every fucking one of them. This is just a few of them. Claim me in my face, it's over with me. Every one of them. Every one of them. Every one of them. Every one of you scum. PAHOR. That's this guy here, 2015. It's over with you guys. It's finito. That's it. This communist here, his name is Miro Cerar. Every one of this claim me, my being dead. Every fucking one of you. Entire Slovenian parliament. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then it stopped. What happened in 18? After Belarus, actually not Belarus, but after immigrating to the Hungary, where Hungarian government denied me the right to file for political asylum, I immigrated to Belarus in 2017. But in 2018, I escaped them again. That time I escaped through Slovakia, where I originally immigrated. I ended inside of the Poland. And already before the departure to outside of Slovenia, they were going to kill me here. Disregarding all the MK Ultra proofs I was posting on the internet and stuff, they were going to fucking kill me. No mercy. No United Nations, nobody. They were coming here to pose next to me, blah, 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 blah. That's all there was. That's how they do it. They cover up for Slovenes entirely. In 2015, this guy was told it's game over. He was assured that he did a good job, that they will kill me. This was the guy who was involved in torture 6 months before the psychiatric hospitalization in 2012. This man personally told me he will play a victim during my hospitalization process. They couldn't get rid of me past 3 years of the psychiatric hospitalizations all the way to 2015. However, this guy was told by this communist right here that he's finished. This is the man who was deciding about who's going to be the next president and who is going to be the next minister, and who the ministers will be, etc., etc. This here is the owner of the Slovenia. This is direct deputy of Milan Kučan, who was recently sort of replaced by Slovenian Robert Golob. This one. They were the one selecting their opposition literally through the meetings, and it was decided, as this rat face here will explain, he was told that he served already as a prime minister already too many times before, and they want new faces. This is the way it was in 2015, and it all started already in 2012 when it's supposed to go to the jail and that kind of stuff. That's the way this stuff is with the Janša. Yeah. So go ahead and tell that he is not a communist, it's not part of the red Slovenian terror in Slovenia. Go ahead and tell. Lie yourself, scum. So what happened in 2018? In 2018, I actually, unfortunately, for Slovenian murderous scum, entire Slovenian parliament managed to produce physical criminal evidence pertaining to MK Ultra in Poland. Bunch of it. And the case no longer could become voided. So do you know what happened? Milan Kučan, BORUT PAHOR summoned this rat face to the palace in Ljubljana. There you go, man. Another opening have opened for the rat face, for the communist rat-faced Janez Janša. Janša will explain about all this stuff. He will explain about all this stuff. So what happened with the rat face? He did not finish the job yet. I somehow survived 2 psychiatric hospitalizations, and now I had actually criminal evidence in my hands. And he couldn't deny it anymore. They couldn't deny it anymore. So Janez Janša said to me, "Oh, there is still a hope for you." Who do you think we were meeting with Janez Janša inside of the palace? Oh, he took it with me. He took me with him. A rat took me to Ljubljana in 2018 to the palace. This is a comrade, this is a partner, this is the associate of this communist here. This is his associate. And then there's another communist associate. This one here. One smarter than the other. And another one. And another one and another one. There's a bunch of them. They act like separately. They have a baby pillow fight, like a baby pillow fight with Milan Kučan here and then, so the media have something to talk about, lie about, brag about. So he took me to the palace, and inside the palace, where he brought me, he make me meet with Nataša, Pirc, Musar, who already was rehearsing her future presidential Slovenian career. Just a little update where we are at right now. Yeah? You understand? Do you understand, you motherfuckers, where we are here at right now? What time it is, what year it is? And this shit, he hated me. He hated my guts, this rat face. Had to go with me to the palace in 2019 and in 2020. And Slovenes had to eat a lot of shit. All the stuff they told me in the face, how I'm dead, how it's over, etc., etc. They spit at me. The way they look at me, I was a nobody. I was just a dead man. That's all I was. They had to eat all this shit. 2019, 2020, whenever they hijacked me, Slovenia, they packed me up with more psychiatric drugs. They continue to poison literally with the psychiatric drugs, despite my escaping from Slovenia in 2018 again, before returning me back to Poland. As local Novo Mesto, in a parenthesis, investigators will explain to you. So, do you think that this is a communist rat, or that this is not a communist rat? Over there is a German who is kind of acting funny, because it appears to me everything is clear to him. He understands everything. So he's making a free commercial for his Slovenian comrade. He's got here in his Twitter posted the photo. Manfred Weber is his name, a German politician. Janez Janša personally delivered me to him. I was insulted with whoever tried to even come anywhere close to me. This Manfred Weber, I liked him. I approved him, but then again, why was he meeting with his rat face? Already from what is evident from my blog and based on MK Ultra interactions, I do not understand. I don't understand you. I don't know. Is it that you need? Is it? Are you so alone, single? Or you need, company misery like this, or what is it that you try to, knowing that he would be doing stuff based on a contract, and that, why would you do this? Why would you do this stuff? But okay, all right. He won't help you anyways. I don't want to talk to you about the stuff that went through with, the stuff I have gone through with Nataša, Pirc, Musar. That's a Slovenian president, but how can I even express myself? I'll try to express myself. I'm trying to express myself. Just the look on her face, in his face, I think they are priceless. I think they tell everything. I think the world around these two rats is collapsing. And I think it's just about a matter of time when the world around these two rats is going to collapse entirely. And then it's going to be a questions that are going to follow up on her and on him, and on the entire Slovenian parliament about why, how, and so on. Pertaining to this video, this is a very good video that demonstrates the circumstances I was in. I will never forget his anger. He fucking hated me, this guy. He hated me. He couldn't stand me. He couldn't see me. Literally, he couldn't see me. They couldn't see me. They couldn't stand me. There's one thing, the way they do on their faces, and that is something completely different than it is in reality. The next thing I'll do is, I owe you a few other videos. We're done with this stuff here. I got you, buddy. I got you, buddy. This time I got you. I only report about the stuff that I have 100% legitimate evidence. And this is evidence enough good for me to seal your fate, Janez Janša and Nataša, Pirc, Musar. The next videos that I will be releasing to you will concern what I suggested for Milan Kučan on how he gestured he would give me a surgery here in Slovenia, in Ljubljana. Open heart surgery, obviously. and there will be some more stuff. And I want the separate videos from this, but I want you to understand, you're not going anywhere with this stuff. I made few mistakes. Milan Kučan was not interested in performing any kind of surgery to me. The surgeons that work in an apartment for the surgical, for the heart surgeries, were actually involved in a torture process. The surgeons that work in, must be Ljubljana UKC. It's where Kučan would literally deliver me to the surgeons, where they work on surgeries, heart surgeries. They were directly involved in torture procedures. And the second thing is, he was not interested, and this did not start now. This started already in year 2000. We're talking about the young doctors already involved in a torture procedure from the heart surgery department. 98, 2000, they had these surgeons engaged in direct torture. Milan Kučan did. A lot of death threats and all kinds of stuff. Who the hell would want to go on a surgery like this? The second thing is, Milan Kučan was not interested in saving me. Milan Kučan was using me during Illuminati meetings to advertise Slovenian surgical services. He was using me to advertise abilities for the Kazakhstani. I think he made a surgery. There was a bunch of Eastern Europeans, Russians, whom this Slovenian surgery department performed surgeries on them because they would not have this much advanced technology yet in other parts of the Eastern Europe. And they understand successfully performed, I don't know how many operations on all kinds of dictators affiliated to the Russia, from Eastern Europe and probably in other parts of the world. He was not interested in saving me, helping me, or anything. After all, he continued to enforce this. On one way, he claimed that he's going to help me out. On the other way, is exactly as I had written to the Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was doing, he continued to do bestial stuff, so bestial that I could feel pain in my heart. And then you know that he was not interested in saving me, that he was interested in something else. They were using me anywhere from selling the cars, from BMW, Mercedes, Audi, etc., Toyota, Lexus. Not so much Japanese cars. They did, but mostly really the German cars were sold a lot through this case. And they were using me for the real estate. Anywhere from Portugal, where my father was brought with me, Spain, where my father was also brought, claiming to my father that I'm going to save him. They wanted, this is a totally fucked up video, separate video, how the police brain killed my father. It's totally separate video that I yet have to release. So much information about this shit. Through the Germany, through the Britain, through Austria, through Canada, through United States of America, all over the world they were using me, including Japan, China, etc., to sell the real estate. They were using me to sell the services, the surgical services, etc., all kinds of stuff like this. Any kind of news. Obviously, they had people that would cover the news during MKH about this and share that with the Illuminatis. And if there was a big interest in my case, which I think it was astronomical, because I was a joke of the day. So why not to see where the joke of the day is today? That's how they did the business. So Milan Kučan was not interested in saving me. He was interested in something completely different. And then there is also the video that pertains to my It pertains to the car assassination plot. It's going to be, again, another separate video. This is just a little EPP, ekonomsko-propagandni program, a little commercial. These are all the separate videos that are coming. It's a really simple thing, very simple thing. His name was Jonathan Bettis. It is the man I already have mentioned here. They broke my Mazda Protege, brand new Mazda Protege belt, time belt, soon as I got the car. Brand new car, and within day 2, the car belt already was broken. Within 2 or 3 days of owning the car was inside of the garage, the belt already was broken. That's all there is. I don't have anything else to say. How the fuck do I know? They tortured me. And some stuff that is extremely important, but it appears to me I did not copy paste it yet on this blog, because they removed the blog. Imagine this. I find that pretty insane. I find that really insane. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, this is actually the blog that I just demonstrated you. That was the Ulster Times, and then they forced me into substitute of that blog. Too damn bad that I have to bother myself with this. The last 6 of 6 is going to be, it's very clear. It's very easy for me to finish the job. Extremely easy. The belt, the car belt, was destroyed within a day or 2. I know so because as soon as the car was repaired, I got a phone call, and it was Jonathan Bettis is his name. Jonathan Bettis. This was a black supervisor who used to work on, it's called the Gumenick properties, on a South Beach, right down on a South Beach. A little bit I'm going to show you. And he said, I have a job for you. And I said, with this Mazda Protege, and I drove to him, and he said to me, he said, that I have to be very careful with too. I just realized something else. He said, I have a job for you, but give me the resume. Okay, that's nice, impressive. Okay, I'm going to call you. Thank you. So I went home. He did call me, and he said that I got a job, but the job is going to be within the 2 weeks. Miami-Dade Police Department hijacked me, had me hijacked with the SEA, and they started to fuck with the car. No. I believe the car, based on witnessing of Jonathan Bettis, No, this is definitely, I mentioned his name. I mean, I mentioned his name. His name is Jonathan Bettis. So now you're going to see how that stuff is. I used to work for Wackenhut Corporation. I don't know what this is. What is this year, 2017? Southgate, it's called Southgate, Gumenick Properties. It's talking about the sister from Zuckerberg here. Southgate, Gumenick Properties. My supervisor's name was Jonathan Bettis, and I was to work over there as a security officer receptionist, whatever title that was. So you would inspect the building, make sure for the residents okay, interact with the police, residents entering, exiting the building, that kind of stuff. 24-hour operation. Let me see if he is still around. His name is Jonathan Bettis, because I say if he's still around and I say this, why the fuck I say this? You're gonna see how fucked up this is. It's extremely fucked up. This is a time, those 2 weeks when he said he's gonna call me, is when they started to rehearse each time on how they are going to break the belt. So they let the time pass, which was used for the brainwash procedure, and then he said, come, I have the work for you. That's how they did. But he knew absolutely everything about it. That's her name. He absolutely knew everything about it. I have several personal references pertaining to the people that this is the strongest reference, because he, during MK Ultra, interacted with me when they were rehearsing the breaking of the time belt. He interacted with me and told me that I was hired by Miami-Dade Police, where I also applied for the police officer job. I submitted for the Miami-Dade, Miami Beach, and so on. And will be my witness, will be my future witness pertaining to destruction of the time belt. So you're talking about the Wackenhut. Sorry, this was not a Wackenhut employee. This was not a Wackenhut anymore. This was a private company, Gumenick Properties, like real estate management company, which had direct security officers like myself. This was after the Wackenhut, right? So, I mean, can I give you more fucking insight? That's a man who actually witnessed together with Miami-Dade police officers, with Miami Beach police officers, to me, that they will be witnessing for me in respect to the time belt breaking, which took place on behalf of the Slovenes, together with Slovenes in Miami Beach, as it took place when I purchased that car. Can be brand new car, basically. Can it be more than this? No. So what happened was, nobody was out there to help me out. They lied on how I got, I don't know, that I didn't want to assist a girl, stuff like this. That I acted against one of the residents. I was a beautiful black girl, extremely arrogant, with, I believe, good deal of the racism in her, and called me upstairs to open her apartment, which I gladly did. Ran upstairs to open that, and then came to the management and said that I mistreated her badly, and that I was racist, that kind of stuff. And that stuff was actually entered on where I was fired. She was caught by the police. Building was actually bugged. There was nobody who was racist. She confessed, she lied. She then immigrated from Florida, I understand, to another state. No, so because she remained involved in MK Ultra and would apologize to me during MK Ultra. We had that kind of stuff. Just like this girl, Rachel Steiger over there from Washington State, the same thing. She too apologized during MK Ultra, met me and issued me apology, that kind of stuff. We had this shit going on. We had this kind of stuff going on, man. Had incident with somebody on the street. That somebody from the street, they involved him in MK Ultra. So then you know, you bloody, I'm not going to say stalked, but the big brother is watching. You know that. This is the way it was. So, but they got rid of me, and it wasn't about getting rid of me, but it was about references stating that due to not sufficient length of employment, that kind of stuff. I wasn't fired, but it was a crime from the Wackenhut, where they actually fired me without my having any kind of rights to complain against them. They were using to threaten me through extensive intimidation involved in MK Ultra on how you're never going to find a job, that kind of stuff, if you're fired again, to force me to resign from this position, from this company. This is the way Miami-Dade police was doing the stuff with the Miami Beach. And that was the stuff they used to say to me, sorry, Mr. Ovsik, at the police station, at the police department, but you don't have sufficient history and references that you could use to become a police officer. This is how they did with me in America. Yeah, that was the stuff that forced me into a truck driving school, collect some money, and get out of the United States of America, because it was a train to it was a rack to nowhere. It wasn't a train; it was a rack after rack on every step of the way. This is how they basically were doing with me in America. So his name is Jonathan Bettis, who told me in the end. And by the way, I can also not be your reference in respect to the car. Entire Miami-Dade Police Department basically said to me, you know, middle finger. So nice, such a nice people. That's how nice that stuff was. Without any reason, without absolutely any kind of justification or absolutely anything. That's the American way. That's how they do it in America. So the stuff that you see about Donald Trump doing the deal with Iran after he offered them $300 billion, I'm not for it, to give in $300 billion to Iran. I never said I favor that option. I never said that. I'm just saying that this type of attitude is a normal in America. This is just basically, you know, a normal thing. If you ever go to the United States of America, you watch out, because, you know, there's the snakes that do stuff like this, and it might actually, you might end up hurt. It might actually hurt you. That's how they destroyed my law enforcement career in America. So these are the videos that I will record separately, but this was really the video dedicated to the Slovenian rat, Janez Janša, for whom I believe that beginning effective today on, he won't be hallucinating anymore anything about it could be like this, it could be like that, it was not me, but it was, I don't know, I don't remember anything like that. If you don't remember this, is because, well, you just don't want to remember. That might not be convenient for you, but eventually you're going to tell the world what you did. talking to Janez Janša about this here. So this is basically what Slovenia is. Communists are deciding about how many times you can be a prime minister, about the so-called opposition. That much about the Lojze Peterle and Dmitry Rupel and Kacin and the rest of this pack, this happy so-called pro-independence Slovenian people. I'm surprised. Entire Slovenian parliament, rotten as anything can be rotten in this world, just the way I described on my blog. No normal people would feel anything Slovenian in him. I mean, if this would have happened to you anywhere else in the world, I don't think so that you would continue to sucker punch yourself with falsehood about your homeland and your people and etc. etc. This is fucking backstabbing. Backstabbing as nation is anything you ever heard about in this world. Judas. Maybe you're not Jews all through you work with them all along, but Judas, you're Judas. You're a bunch of Judas, man. Unprecedented. No crime escapes here. It's just a lot of stuff I still did not report about. But anything that went on is coming out. There's no such thing like maybe or something like that. No. So we're talking about Jonathan Bettis here, and I don't see the man. I don't see the guy absolutely anywhere. Gumenick properties. So you're talking about African American guy here, black guy, and he also told me that I mentioned him. He engaged, obviously, clearly he was engaged in a racism, and told me that once I would mention him in such a way, he simply, no, he said that they would have him disappear. But he was not really on a picture to help out. It became very evident that he was in it to cause trouble, and nobody was. This is an African American guy. Another individual who witnessed this crime was Eddie Guerra. So, you know, this isn't going to be such a difficult thing to do. There is other people, co-workers and stuff like this. When it comes to the Mazda Protege, the assassination attempt, which they exercised, ain't going to be such a difficult thing to do. I mean, I dedicated Mount Everest of to investigation of this 2007 car assassination plot in Slovenia. I solved this car plot up to the last millimeter. Jonathan Bettis will explain about the Miami-Dade Police Department. You were involved in this with the police officers firsthand. You're gonna explain everything about breaking me time belt on my Mazda Protege. And there is also a mechanic, a son of the mechanic, who was directly involved in it. I have several witnesses to this crime alone. A brand new Mazda Protege 2003. Wasted just like this. Time belt wasted just like this. So it won't be difficult to prove this. This is not going to be difficult to prove. The FBI, Central Intelligence Agency, both knew about this. All the heads, you all knew about this stuff. I don't understand where you're running with all this stuff. It's so easy to prove. So easy to prove. No, but I am overwhelmingly glad for me to have proven this here. I'm overwhelmingly happy to have proven this stuff here. This was just eating me enormously, because this man knew and was directly involved in my 2012 psychiatric hospitalization procedure. And so I'm overwhelmingly happy to have proven, not about him only, but entire Slovenian parliament, all the ministers, prime ministers, presidents, even future president Nataša Pirc Musar, she lived inside of the palace in 2018, in 2019, in 2020. BORUT PAHOR assisted her. She was preparing herself for her future political agenda. Absolutely everything. He shared with her. He would give her special times, hours when she was doing her stuff inside in there. That's how they do that stuff. So this is more than easy to prove now. This is now very, very, very soft case, this stuff here. This is now, you know, up to the last millimeter. It's going to have a beautiful thumbnail. We get this stuff done. We get this stuff done. They absolutely tried everything they possibly could, but it did not work out for the Slovenes. Slovenes are extremely dangerous. These are really, really, really dangerous people. The perception about these people was, I'm not going to say it was a mistaken, but the perception about these people was, sorry to say that, but you guys really, really disappointed me with the way you look at me, with the way you look at them. It just is, for me, it's just extremely, extremely disappointing. I was really hurt by this. You knew me so well, yet you have eaten the stuff like this. You have gone for this kind of stuff with a guy like myself is just very bad. He had a tremendous problem with my going with him to palace and back and forth and this and that. He was angered as hell, but he couldn't do nothing anymore in 2019. Whether he liked it or not, he had to accept, and I would never accept him. I was there because I had to be there, but I didn't want to be there. It was like on a brink of like hysterical stuff, like on the brink of a physical fight, you know, compliance basically. So just, you can do your blah, 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 and that's all there is, and then get out of my face. That's how I felt about him and about the rest of it. I couldn't fucking see him, and honestly, it was like this on years of hostility I faced from him and his comrades. So that's the way this stuff was. I told you about how Milan Kučan was using me to advertise to the Eastern European communists. I'm not kidding about this. Slovenian health services is what they do. They bring the dictators here from Eastern Europe, from whatever. If they don't have this type of technology available back home, they also send our people, or I should say our people, Slovenes, once they got it from Americans through my case, yeah, once they stole it from Americans using this case, they would have Slovenes travel to these countries, whatever, and train their physicians and stuff to do this stuff. That's what this is. This is what this is. That's why you have Americans. They actually send as an American ambassador, a Kazakhstani girl. And I mentioned this a lot because of her. All kinds of politicians from that part of the world, including Russians from Russia, that would do surgeries here based on, you know, a great Slavic communist, I bet it's free of charge for them. They probably do it free for their comrades. So there must be these Slovenes surgeons hired by Milan Kučan. They must be really, really, really proud about the work they do, because they do make a difference in this world. They make a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous difference in this world, in the entire world. Slovenia is a big player. It's a player. It's a player. So imagine that I go on a surgical table in Slovenia, performed by Slovenes on me. What exactly that would look like. That would be a happy day. With BORUT PAHOR, who insisted me during MK Ultra that he would leave, using the surgeons, that they would leave me in scissors inside of the stomach and all kinds of stuff like this, if they would perform the surgery. I mean, I really think about these Americans, I mean, what kind of sense were you making with your statements, I mean, with this stuff? Not a whole lot of it. You demanded from me a seriousness, all the serious in this world and stuff, and, in return you were giving a total lunacy, really. In agreement with your Eastern European communist partners, kind of a difficult to get you. A bit difficult to get this. Maybe the most I was hurt, I didn't finish this, is when I was tortured to death and delivered to UKC in Ljubljana to get my heart somehow going, because I started to fade away completely. I couldn't even get any sleep anymore during MK Ultra. It started to worsen so fast that it was incredible because of the torture that went on. And was brought over there, and they started to rehabilitate, and they somehow rehabilitate me back. It happened more than once. That was like in 2016 or 2015. And it was Lojze Peterle. It was this guy here, this Lojze, who went on to tell me that in Slovenia we have a top experts. He didn't want to hear anything about America. He didn't want to hear anything about the Paris, nothing about the France, nothing about the Germany, nothing. You have the best here in Slovenia. I was in shock, man, because this is a politician I created, just like all others. And never criticized him, defended him all the way until the moment I realized in 2018 that this guy is completely fucked up. He was already making commercial for himself with the communists too. And went on afterwards with Janša to extort me, that if I want the case finished, and he traveled with Janša to Ljubljana and so on, that he will announce the case and so on. It's funny because when they rehearsed this incident where they were obviously, these idiots were not even in state of mind to confess. These murderous animals in 2019, 2020, due to so many proofs I provided about MK Ultra. He fucking hated me too. I didn't talk about him. It was physical restraint at this palace in Ljubljana, where he traveled with me and with Janša, that he granted himself and extorted and so on and so forth. They have a military squad outside, somewhere on some lot where, for the parade or whatever, they were doing this kind of stuff, and he brought me over there and so on. Man, I didn't want to fucking be anywhere next to him, not to Janša, not to any one of these fucking people. He said, if you want, you must. If you will not, you will never finish your case, and so on and so forth. What do you fucking care, man? You wanted to fucking kill me in Slovenia. You did all you possibly could. You make me run out of Slovenia. I slept under the bare sky without nothing over my head. And you bring me, hijack me from Poland to Ljubljana to tell me this shit. This is sick. More than sickening. More than anything I ever heard of. Nothing so sick I ever heard of. Disgusting. Super disgusting. The two brothers, the two swine brothers. Lojze Peterle knows about him, and this one knows about the Lojze Peterle. These are all Milan Kučan underdogs. And even if they are not, even if by any chance there will be something different, because I never heard of that you would have a communist selecting their opposition. Other than in this case, exactly the way I described. Arguing with the BORUT PAHOR. As per BORUT PAHOR treated him like a shit. Like a shit. And he was going around Robert PAHOR on his knees, begging for one more position. This man needs to confess about what's going on in this little country. Because this little country is in a total fuck up, in a total disarray because of him. He has questions to answer. You are watching this on Auser Times. My name is Bastian Auser, Bastian Ausets. I'll give you a little business card. I'm going to sign this one here. In case you decide to visit me. I am not imaginary character or anything like this, and you will remember this video, scum, whether you like it or not. Ready or not, I am ready.